Okay, just a quick tutorial here on how to wire up your Raspberry Pi for doing the basic labs that we're going to be doing with the flashing LED. So this is my Raspberry Pi. This is actually a Model 2B. A lot of you will have a Model 3B and it will look pretty much just like that. Certainly, most importantly, is all of this is exactly the same. In fact, most of this is all the same. And so what we're going to do, you'll also have with you, because you've done what we asked you to do, is get a couple of lead wires. So here I am, by the way. Just you've got a couple of lead wires here. The best ones to get, obviously, are something that can plug into your pin. So you need like a female end, and then we've got a male end on the other side. So female and male. I need two of them for the single LED. I've got my LED here, and I've also got my breadboard, which I've got using the I've got the CamJam Edgy kit. You can get anything that works. It's all good as far as I'm concerned. Anything that can do the job. And basically, what we've got here is the LED. Just another thing to note, and I'm going to come in as closely as I can to the camera, is that the actually has a short end and a longer end there. See, the short end is the negative end, and the obviously the other one is the positive end, and that's important because if you go the wrong way in the circuit, it won't work. It won't do any damage, but it won't work. Now, so basically, we need the negative end to be on the ground side, if you like, and I'll get to that in a second. But I'm going to put it in my actual breadboard here. I'm just going to bring that close to the camera. So I've just put it in. So just to show you again, there's the short end on, well, I can't know if it's your right or your left, but it's on this side, and that's going to be sitting there. So that's what we've got so far. What I'm also going to do is put in a resistor on the negative side. That wouldn't matter where. But somewhere you don't really need to worry much about the resistor. If you don't have one, it's not going to do any great damage. But I am going to be doing it here. So I'm just going to put it in here and here. And that's going to simply connect what eventually will come into this area here. So along this row here, within a block, the current will travel. So anything I connect to any of these other holes in here will be effectively wired up to this. Okay, it will be connected. So let's do that now. So the ground pin is what we need to connect first. We don't need to, but we will. We're going to need to do it first. We do definitely need to do it. 1, 2, 3 down is the ground pin. Well, that's one of the ground pins. And in the other tutorial I've made, I talk about how you can find out these things, looking at the table and diagrams of the Raspberry Pi's pinner heads. And anyway, I'm going to slide it on there, and then I'm going to connect that up to go into the hole just next to the resistors connection there. Okay, and then the other one, which is really important, is the other connections coming from the 6th pin down. I've asked you to do in the lab. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one of a number of pins I could use. Obviously, any of these pins in reality I could use, but I've chosen that one. So that's the 6th pin down, which is that's 3, 4, 5, 6. This one, and that is associated with GPIO 18, which you need to know for the programming, and then all the bits that you need to set. Okay, but that's how it plugs it. It's physically where it is. So this 6th pin down, it's actually pin 12 in the diagrams. But it's the 6th pin down from the end of the Pi there. All right, obviously with this orientation in mind. Okay, so I've done that. Now the next thing, and the last thing really, is to connect that to the breadboard, and I just need to put that in the same column as the positive end of the LED. So I'm just going to put that in there. Okay, and that will connect to that input to the LED there. That's the positive. Comes out the negative, goes through the resistor, and then goes through to ground, which is what we need. Okay, so now I'm just going to pause and come back and have it all ready to go so we can test it. Okay, I'm back. So here I am. I've got all my wired up stuff. Now, lastly, I've also got the SD card now in, so it's got the code to do what we need, which is turning on the LED. So I'm going to put that in a place where you can see it. The last thing to do is I need to put the power in, so I've just connected this to my laptop, so I'm just putting a power in through here. I plug it in, and hopefully you can see Christmas has come to Chris's house with a Christmas light. Beautiful, isn't it? Exciting stuff, I know, but that's your first program, connecting a Raspberry Pi to a piece of hardware and seeing how you can program it in assembly, which is, I think, pretty cool.